You know it's Rose, Laura, Shelley, yeah, RLS, 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 tip top, yo.
Hi guys, welcome back to all our subscribers and welcome to any new person joining us on the RLS Mix and Twist channel. I am Lady S and today my husband and I will be doing curry goat with roti, and we're gonna put split peas inside the roti for a twist today. This is 4 pounds of goat and we're gonna cut them up smaller and wash them with vinegar and water before seasoning them up with our powder seasoning. And over there beside our goat is our split peas. That's 2 cups of split peas, and we're soaking it in water to get it soft and nice so that when it's time to cook, it will take a shorter time. Guys, we're washing our goat with our vinegar and water. Here is our washing process for our goat. It's in the vinegar and water. And we're gonna get it out of that container and put it in the glass one on the counter here. Here's our goat, nice and clean and ready for seasoning. Guys, here is our seasoning that we're gonna put on our goat. So we have 4 tablespoons of curry, because we're going by the measurement of the goat, so 1 tablespoon per pound. And we have 1 teaspoon of ginger powder, 2 tablespoons of all-purpose seasoning, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons onion powder, and 2 teaspoons of salt. So we're combining all the seasoning in one bowl before we put it on our goat. Also guys, some person like to burn their curry and add the meat to it. Our choice or our preference is putting it on the goat while seasoning it. So we're putting it all over, and then we're going to use our hand to rub it in so that it penetrates through the goat. So when it is all done, the flavor will just burst in your mouth. My birds are at it again, guys. They're smelling it, and it's only the seasoning. Guys, here is our goat all seasoned up, and we're gonna let it sit for 4 hours before we start cooking. You can let it rest longer if you want, even for a day or so before cooking, but we're gonna let it rest for 4 hours. Guys, our coconut oil is in our pan and we're adding the goat to it now. We're gonna give it some color and we're gonna cover it for it to spring its own water. All our meat is now in the pot and we're stirring it around, and we're gonna add some pimento seed, some garlic cloves, and a piece of ginger. We're adding in our chopped garlic and cut up ginger. Guys, you can see the goat started to spray its own water, and we're going to put the lid back on. The pimento seed is already in. We have some boiling water over there that we're going to pour on it when the time comes. Guys, we're now adding some Irish potato to our curry goat. We're using this so as to give our gravy a thicker texture because we don't want it watery. We're stirring in our Irish potato. This is 2 medium Irish potato. Peel, wash, and dice and add it to our pot. I'm gonna add pepper thyme and onion to complete our cooking. When we add those in, we're gonna turn it down on low heat to simmer. We added our scotch bonnet pepper, our thyme, and our white and purple onion. So guys, we're going to make the dough for the roti. So we're gonna add to our 2.5 cups of water. We're gonna add sugar, yeast, and baking powder. So all those ingredients are in the water and we're stirring it to dissolve them out in our mixture. We have poured the liquid in a glass container and put a lid over it so that the yeast can react to our water, sugar, and baking powder. In our mixing bowl over there, we have 36 ounces of flour, and we're gonna add half teaspoon salt to that. Here's our salt going in. We're using our mixing attachment now to get the salt combined properly with the flour. So now we're adding our water mixture to our flour and salt. And the dough hook is gonna use to combine the dough together nicely. So it is combining all our ingredients together for our dough, for our roti. And this amount of ingredients will give you 8 rotis. We're now gonna add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You don't have to use olive oil, guys. You can use whatever oil you have or your preference. Guys, we're dusting it with some flour and we're gonna put it to set for 30 minutes. This is in our mixing bowl and we're gonna cover it and leave it to set for 30 minutes. Here is our pot with our water, salt, turmeric, and fennel seed. We're gonna bring this to a boil and then we're gonna add the split peas to it. We have added a scotch bonnet pepper just for flavoring. Guys, our water is boiling and we have strained our split peas and we're going to add it to the pot. We're using the green split peas. However, you can use the yellow one if you want, or the green. It's your preference, guys, but we're using the green ones. Guys, we've put the lid back on our pot, and when it comes to a boil once more, we're going to take the lid off so that the water does not boil over on our stove. It's starting to boil again, so we take the lid off. We're now going to give it 15 minutes and then check back to see how tender it is. If it's not completed, we're going to give it some more time. We're testing the split peas after 15 minutes. And it's crushed out, so we're going to turn off the stove. Here is the dough for the roti, guys. It has risen to the level that we want it. And we're going to add our split peas to it once it's cold and grind it. Guys, we have drained the water from our split peas. And now we're going to put it in some coconut oil with some cumin powder and some curry powder. And we're going to add some garlic to that. And we're going to fry it up a bit, let it cool, and then add it to the food processor to get it all soft and nice to go into our dough. Guys, we have now added our split peas to the cumin, curry, garlic, and scotch bonnet pepper in the coconut oil. So we're going to stir this in so that it will have a nice color as well as nice taste. Then we're going to put it to cool before adding it to our food processor. Guys, we're now adding our split peas to our horizontal food processor. Here's our dough cut into 8 pieces. We have some flour that we're going to put on our cutting board to roll out the dough before adding in our dal. Here are the 8 dough balls, and we're going to roll them out with a rolling pin and add the filling inside. So we've poured in our first dal inside the dough, and we're folding it in. We're getting it to close up before rolling it out with the rolling pin. We're rolling out the dough with the dal inside. So now it's actually a roti. Now we have to put the flour on the cutting board so it doesn't stick. Here is our roti now on our baking sheet, and we're gonna heat the oven to 350 and put it inside. We're gonna give it 5 minutes on one side, then we're gonna take it out, put the butter over it, and flip it and put it in back for another 5 minutes. So guys, we're now putting on our melted butter. We're using a silicone brush to brush it on. Guys, we're putting some butter on this one. We're gonna flip it over and put the butter on the other side. We have now flipped it over and we're putting the butter on the other side. You can use oil if you want to, you don't have to use butter. We're gonna place them back in the oven now for another 5 minutes. Guys, here is our finished roti and dal. Can't wait to dig in. Dinner is served. Chalo kata hai. If you like this video, please don't forget to LSS, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, eat what you love what you eat.
RLS I cook non-stop or ring the food bell when a new video drop. Chime in and just leave a feedback. Yo!